Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. You all are watching what is going to be, for now, the final and last video of Hauntly Looks. This is Hauntly Looks Part 6. Now, as some of you might notice, if you've been keeping track of Hauntly Looks, we did postpone the last two videos just by a little bit, and that is because this last outfit took a very long time and a lot of effort. I wanted my last Hauntly Looks of this series or season, whatever you would like to call it, to be a very good upstep to end it in a good big note. As you can tell, the makeup was not the challenge of this look. It was actually the entire outfit. I spent weeks, all of last month especially, looking for a simple white base dress that was affordable or could be upcycled. I couldn't find anything. I went to several thrift stores all around the area with my partner. We've both looked through Amazon. It was very extremely expensive pieces of clothing that weren't really the right shape and the right material. And then we also looked on Spirit Halloween and Walmart and all of these different places. We couldn't find anything, things that were slightly close and things that definitely weren't close at all. We even got, because there's a Price Market that opened up near us. I'm very new to Price Market, but I have been finding a lot of cosplay deals there. We found a wedding dress, and unfortunately it was the shape that wouldn't work with adding more tulle or anything for this look in particular. But it is serving a very good purpose for something very fun for this month. I'm not sure if the video is going to make it out this month because there's a lot of filming and a lot of things going on with that. It's going to be an official cosplay video. I haven't done that in forever. But it still served a purpose, as well as finding all of this, like, I'm just going to call it tulle. It's a really like thinner, less constructed version of it. And all of this served a huge purpose. And guess what it was actually? It wasn't just fabric we found at Price Market. No. When we finally got it and brought it home and spread it out all over the floor, it was a bed canopy. Bed canopies, especially as full and lush that this one was, can cost anywhere between almost $30 to well over $60. We got it for 20 bucks. As well as this wig we found a while ago, actually. We found this wig at a thrift store, $3. And I'm not the best at styling wigs. I'm actually trying to put in the effort to finally stop being so scared and practice the different types of things that cosplayers do to style their wigs. And so far I used a steamer to get this wig put together. Sorry, I'm noticing some hair out of place. A lot of these curls came out actually really perfect. And then because I didn't really freeze them in place, I probably should have, they kind of fell apart, even though the wig has just been sitting in one spot. So that's a bit of a downside to it, but I did have these curls perfect the other night, and I did it all with a steamer. I detangled this wig entirely. It looked atrocious from my last week of working with it. And then after detangling it and making it super straight and everything, letting it cool down for a moment, then I went in, since that only took like maybe under an hour to straighten it all, I curled it and I kind of freezed it with hairspray. I probably should have done way more hairspray in here to get them to stick, but that's okay. You live, you learn, you try new things. It was actually very challenging with this. The crochet flowers that took forever, that are all over the dress, one on the shirt, and the hat as well. So that was just really challenging, and I'm gonna just tell you guys this right now. This entire look is based in hot glue mostly. I did the bare minimum effort of hand sewing anything by gathering all the material, whatever I needed to gather, to then glue it to an already, I've had it for like maybe 4 years, hoop skirt that I know I haven't been using at all for anything. So I just said, you know what? It's got a close enough shape. Let's just put a bunch of this material on there. And I learned along the way how to cut that material in a way easier fashion than what I started with, that made it way more work for me in the beginning of putting the material on the skirt. There was a lot of steps. I have quite a bit on TikTok to showcase that, and it was just a really long process. So I do apologize for the delay of both of these videos, But hey, like this last one, it meant a lot to me to challenge myself. And also I'm challenging myself in a spooky sense because this is Hauntly Looks and it is based off of actual haunted items that I own. I can't express this enough. I am here transparently letting y'all know this has always been genuine. If anybody has any questioning to it, that's okay. It's either because you're interested and you're still a skeptic. I know some creators can create augmented reality, ARG or something. I can't remember what it's called. Loey Lane covers it a lot on YouTube, but it's basically fictional haunted skits and everything and stories. That is not what's happening here. I genuinely try to be as transparent and honest with you guys, and we're gonna get into the story of She Beast. There is no name just yet. She gave us a name, I think, but I don't want to really say it's for sure her name until later on. Okay, so She Beast. We're just gonna call her that. She hasn't really said anything that she just disliked it at all. She is attached to 2 items so far we've noticed. We went to a thrift store, walking around, specifically looking for items too, that might kind of like give an energy or sense. And how I can explain that I have a feeling that there's something there is that it feels like the pit of your stomach drops and I get like a chill up my neck or my spine. And sometimes my eyes even water in response to me feeling like, hey, there's something there. So I got that immediate, really strong ping in my gut and chills all over my body when I did spot both of her dolls. Now, at first I was like, I think there's 2 things to this. Something that really wants to go to a home for whatever the reason or intent is. So we've got them both, and one is sitting at a different table and she is right here next to me. So we brought her in May. At first, there was a lot of lies and deceit going on, as negative entities can be sometimes. I won't label her as strictly a demon. For algorithm purposes, I do kind of use hashtags and stuff to put that description, but I personally don't believe just yet that she is of demonicness. I think she's just a negative entity. She could be anything between a shapeshifter, some other type of manifested negative entity in general, or energy that just became self-aware. There's a lot of theories with stuff like that. And or she is a mimic, because when we first started investigating around her and they were and her dolls were in their boxes and everything, it wasn't until a very specific video that we first released here on IE between me and my partner, and that was us checking in on our dolls, seeing if everybody is still here. Did we lose anybody? Is that even possible? Like, can anybody be separated from their vessel? So we got very kind messages and everything. It was a very loving, reassuring video. And then she came in right after I was done editing that video. So as that video was releasing, she was put into the space. That very night, she started turning on her cat balls. I'm not even kidding you guys. We counted almost 100 times that night. And then she kept doing it every single day. Cat ball, cat ball, cat ball, switching between the dolls and just going off, going off, going off, going off. And then we got like new stuff coming through the devices, and we were starting to hear weird noises and all these new knocks and stuff. At least it started with that. And it was just new activity. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. I just don't know what it is. Next video that we decided to try to do to get some answers, we quickly found out that this spirit is extremely rude and only works when she wants to do something. And she kept begging and screaming to be let out of the boxes, we're assuming, because I'm not going to detach any entity from their actual item. You can no. I have to be in a really good place on the community to make that big of a risk anywhere, including my own living space. It's big enough of a step that we literally let one of the actual physical dolls out of the box recently. It hasn't been anything dangerous, but it has been a lot of weird activity. So anyway, backtracking again, it was just a lot of activity, and all the EVPs and everything are available on Investigation Exploration. I will link our YouTube page in the description. There is a video, and I think I labeled it as like The Dark One Speaks or something. look into that if you would like, if you're into that. It's very aggressive, very negative, trying to pretend to be other spirits to get our attention and to garner us to go against, we believe, to manipulate us into going against our usual spirit group and our spirit team. And all of them were calling her out and telling her to stop and exposing her, as we let our spirit team do, because we always want to make sure things are as clear communicated as possible and to stop something in its place when it happens. So obviously I took offense to that, and we did actually put her dolls away. I put her dolls in a very top cabinet in the kitchen, facing each other and laying on their back and front, and then I covered it with a blessed tablecloth, and then a rosary, and then actually blessed and saged the box itself. I was really offended and upset about the threats and the negativity and pretending to be other spirits. I would rather a negative entity just be themselves and represent themselves. Because a negative entity in my aspect is like, they are existing as is. There is no convincing them to be better. They are just negative. They are just something that's meant to manipulate and be rude and ruthless and just all bad, right? There's no empathy within that, because they are literally just an existence of that. So that's like a whole thing in my head here. That's a simple way that I can explain it. Anywho, the activity has picked up a lot. We went to a grave site not too long ago, came across an entity or entities that were not good for us, and then that spiked up the energy and the activity in our space. And on top of that, with letting her out into her own little just free-for-all, roaming around, whatever she would like to do that isn't harming any of us or the animals or anything of the physical realm. There are certain rules that are set in place, certain intentions that are set in our place. She is allowed to show more of what she can do and what she is. The most that I've seen as a difference since putting her out of the box, at least one of her dolls out of the box, and the other one with no door on it, I have been actually seeing shadow figures. I have been seeing eyes outside these windows in front of me. And I have been seeing, last night I literally saw a giant like smoky white mist go from the floor all the way up with my own eyes. I was having a conversation with my partner in the kitchen right before bed, and I turned to look out of the kitchen, which is right behind us right here. So right in this space right here outside the kitchen, it was like thick as can be, smoke like literally waving up into the ceiling. I was like, what the hell? Dude, I had to stand there for a second, kind of like, what did I just actually see? Because how? Like how? It was not a reflection, it wasn't anything going on in here, like it was just us going right to bed. I decided to challenge myself not only with this cosplay and the amount of work that went into this, but I also wanted to challenge myself on how much I can get back into handling and taking care of and learning about negative entities, because it's always been a very strong interest to learn about these things, because it's important. You can't just have love and light all the time in your life. Okay, I've never had that in my life. On a personal level, as most of you might know about my story, if you don't and you would like to learn, all over my social media, especially my TikTok, I didn't have that. So on a physical realm in itself, in my own life journey, I didn't have that. And I always knew to take care of learning about the duality of man and the duality of things in general. And that helped a lot with coping and learning about how, you know, I as a person have developed, basically. And it's a whole like mixed spiel of education and philosophy and just anything in general to kind of like piece together just my life experience. And then on top of that, I have an interest in things that are angelic or ethereal, as well as things that are like demonic or negative in general. And I just like to learn about both, and I especially want to get back into learning about these scary guys. So yeah, I mean, not everybody is like that, and everybody has that cup of tea or that view, and that's totally fine. I'm open to it. I always talk about these things with people with different views all of my life, and it's all very interesting to me, and I always like to see different aspects, because as long as you're not weaponizing spirituality, it's a good open discussion to have about spirituality and spirit experiences and life in general, because you never know. We don't have scientific or factual evidence just yet on the spiritual aspect or the paranormal aspect. We have evidence that helps try to prove theories and everything, and that's the point. You're supposed to investigate, you're supposed to explore, you're supposed to be open-minded, you're supposed to debunk when you need to debunk. it's okay to debunk things. It's okay to just be wrong sometimes. It's okay to just have to start again. Like, that's the whole thing that I love about the paranormal community, is just like, it's developed into something, the good side of it, that are more grounded and are genuine. You know, we are really just trying to see if there is anything that can meld within science and also spirituality in general. And it doesn't restrict on religion either. It's just spirituality. Okay? So there's a whole lot of aspects, and I look good, and I think it's time for us to get into the makeup and be done with the yapping for now, and I will come back to you guys in a little bit. All right, you guys, I will not keep you guys here too long. I hope the yapping in the beginning kind of gives you a little bit of an insight of what I do and how I do it and how I view things. I think this was a very successful and fun journey with Huntley Looks. It made me connect more with the items that have something attached to it that I've been collecting over the years, and now finally being able to publicly share with everybody, whether people call me a quack or not, I don't care. And it's just been great to also not only challenge my creativity once again, but also like retouch with my roots of where I started as well. I got into this really big depressive hole about my creativity and how it had to be something that strictly had to be a monetary gain for it to be worth it, and it's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to enjoy your passions and enjoy yourself, because when you're actually enjoying it, you're gonna find people that are going to enjoy it with you, and that is you, the viewers. It's all good. I'm just vibing and I'm enjoying myself and I'm making things work and I'm doing a really good job at it, and I hope you guys have been enjoying everything with Huntley Looks and the funny streams that we've been doing. We have a lot of things coming to you, and I don't know, I just really been enjoying being a creator again. I didn't think this year would be very prosperous for me, but I have had the most productive and busy and exhausting year, but it's been fulfilling, and that's the huge difference. I kid you not, without exaggeration, I spent 18 hours a day working on just the She Beast look, the last Huntley Looks. 18 hours a day for a week, okay? That was a lot on me, and I'm so burnt out and I'm so exhausted, and I still have an entire new cosplay that is extremely intense to do, to also create for you guys. And I do it because I love it and I enjoy it, and I feel like a lot of you, the right people to find this page and to find my creativity, to watch it and maybe take something from it. I love when people are inspired and they try to take from what they've been learning on the internet or anything, and I would love to see it too if any of you want to ever tag me on anything that you do based on any creativity that I do. I love that. I love that sense of community, and I think it's really important to keep that going, especially when it comes to cosplay, because the cosplay community has always been rough. It's always been kind of like having the really bad eggs, and we have fluctuations of when it gets super bad and then when it doesn't get bad at all and it's a little better. So like this is like a meld in between of all of that of what I do. So if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my page, please, 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 it would help me so much if you engage by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, or just watching enough of it so I can reach my goals. I have to pat myself on the back for getting up to 300 subscribers, which is a small milestone to most, but it's a big deal for me because I've been trying to get just to that for a very long time. And finally, I reached 300 and a little bit over in just a few months. That's insane. We have a Discord. We want the community members to come hang out with us, see all of the updates, see the inside, see the behind the scenes. We are trying to ramp it up more often and get more people there because we want all of you to pick or pick all of them if you want. We have different categories. We have streaming, we have crafting, and then we have the haunted stuff. If you would like any of that, we've got it. And we would really, really want to impact the community in a positive manner and bring people together to have these discussions, have fun, share their passions, share their hobbies, and just overall have a good time. And we also have, you know, my Twitch page as well, and we're going to be doing some investigation exploration stuff on that page this month. So please, if you guys are up for it and you like spooky content, we do have a couple of things planned that I want you guys to be there for. It's going to be so much fun. And or watch the reruns. I might include them as well in here. I'm just not sure how I'm going to incorporate and edit all that just yet. But you guys will have things saved that you can come back to if you're busy and you got holiday plans during the weekends. It's not going to be on Halloween. Last year that was a whole hot mess. I'm not going to do that again unless like it's going to be like requested by the community. But the weekend before we have something, and then the other weekends in between we might have a few things as well. All right, everybody, I will see you next time, and thank you so much for all the support. Be sure to check out the TikTok if you haven't seen any TikToks or any of the reels on here. I love you guys. You guys have been great and supportive of all the things that I've been doing this year, and I am so ready and inspired for the next year already, and I cannot wait to also see a lot of you at the end of this year at Hallmat. I am really stoked to see which cosplays I pick to bring, and I also am working Hallmat, so you will be seeing me then. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for enjoying this series if you have, and we'll bring it back for sure. All right, you guys, I'll let you go now. Bye.